Justice suing the city of Ferguson, filing a civil rights lawsuit alleging the city routinely violated the rights of residents, misusing law enforcement, calling the abuses, quote, ongoing and pervasive. The nation watched those images as they came in, police in combat gear clashing with protesters after the death of Michael Brown, the unarmed black teen killed by a white police officer. A grand jury later choosing not to indict that officer. And ABC's senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas live in our Washington bureau tonight. Pierre, what comes next?
David, tonight the Justice Department is going to a federal judge to force the city of Ferguson to overhaul its police department. In a blistering press conference this evening, the Attorney General has just accused the Ferguson police of, quote, racial bias against African Americans, calling the practices egregious and routine in that city that saw so much racial unrest in the summer of 2014. This new lawsuit comes after Ferguson City Council last night rejected a deal the city had negotiated with the Justice Department. Lynch announced she's suing less than 24 hours later. Highly unusual, David. All right, Pierre Thomas with the live developments on Ferguson tonight. Pierre, thank you. Now to the extreme weather we're tracking.
I find it awfully interesting. They're talking about discrimination. Well, what if the facts are that more people of color are committing fucking crimes? And then the Justice Money Laundering motherfucking Department suing? They don't know how to put the fucking handcuffs on dirty cops? Right now, I'm doing my damnedest right now of where I'm fighting for my rights to ride my motherfucking bicycle down the road. As of yesterday, February 9th, 4:30 in the afternoon, on Wilson Avenue and 23rd Street in Panama City, Florida, I was told by a cop, ride on the sidewalk or I'll take you to jail. Now, I confronted the cop. I said, you high? Are you on drugs or what? And on top of that, this lowlife motherfucker wanted to know, he said, where you headed? I said, that's none of your business. So the truth of the matter is, the fucking U.S. Justice Money Laundering fucking Department is a motherfucking extortion organization. Suing? Nobody's going to motherfucking jail? Now, the truth of the matter with Michael Brown? Gee whiz. What about when I saw the fucking pictures of him with money in his mouth and showing his hands on a fucking gun? What about where he was throwing motherfucking gang signs and everything like that? What about the facts are that this motherfucker was 300 pounds, 6'4"? And I find it awfully interesting. Maybe when the cop said, move out of the road, you're blocking traffic. How do we fucking know that that might not have saved his fucking life? But now, see, I'm neutral. I'm for good cops. But fuck dirty cops. Walter Scott was fucking murdered in Staten Island, New York, where he was fucking choked out. There was another one that was shot in South Carolina. LaQuinn McDonald of Chicago was fucking shot over 300 feet away, where the cop was claiming he feared for his fucking life. So here in Panama City, Florida, February 9th, 4:30, here's who I called so many different people. Here's some questions I asked. Well, I found out that the dispatchers, the cops are on GPS tracking, so they know where they're at all times. Chances are they probably got a fucking map that shows them actually going down the road. So, I asked them simple questions. Are they concerned about how cops conduct themselves? Gee, that's an awful stupid question, but the stupid questions are the ones that they can't fucking weasel out of. I asked, did that cop swear an oath of induction? I had Officer Smith tell me, yes, they do. He even admitted the facts. Our Officer Smith of Panama City, Florida, he even admitted the facts are that he took his course at Gulf Coast Community College, which I brought up, and he probably was surprised that I knew. So, this bicyclist now has a state of fear. That cop put that bicyclist in a state of fear that he never knows when he's going to be arrested. For what? Just going down the road because his cop was retaliating? Chances are because his fucking cop didn't like the facts are that the cop got his feelings hurt because he fucking was put in his place. Now he wants to retaliate. So, I'm wondering, should this cop be immediately fired? Maybe there's cops all over the United States. Hey, they fuck welfare queens on a regular basis. They fuck people that are on food stamps on a regular basis. They fuck WIC people on a regular basis. They fuck the rape prevention heroes that walk up and down the road. I don't see no real evidence. And then the chain of command. So, here's the cop that violated my rights to go down the road, terrorized me. That's under 775, comma 32 and A and B, to intimidate a general population or to use government for corrupt purposes. That's a felony under 876 out of Florida statutes. So, now, not only that, 316-2065 of the Florida statute specifically states that a bicyclist has a right to go down the road, just like a car. Not only that, 316-083 of the Florida statute specifically states that cars have to stay 3 feet away from bicycles at all times when they're passing. So, here's who I called in the Panama City Police Department. I tried talking to an idiot fucking clown, Scott Irvin. Never been able to talk to him, man. Boy, he's been ducking me for over 5 years. So I talked to a Laura Olson, who happens to be the secretary of Scott Irvin, the idiot clown cop of top clown of Panama City, Florida. I got hung up on. Then I was switched to somebody by the name of Cynthia Raymer, who happens to be criminal investigations in the Panama City Police Department. Well, then I figured I got the right people. Cynthia Raymer turns around and says, well, I got to get you to Officer Smith, who has only been on the police force just a little bit. And yet, here I get the office of the police chief. Nothing gets done. So, I talked to Officer Smith there. And their favorite thing they like to do, especially when it comes to dirty cops, oh, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. They want to hurry you along. Even though I wanted to clearly state my case of possible retaliation. I mentioned the day, which was February 9th, the month, the year, 2016, the time, the location of where the cop was intimidating somebody on a bicyclist at an intersection there. So, since I didn't get no satisfaction there, then I called the Bay County Sheriff's Department. And I talked to a guy by the name of Garrett, who switched me over after being cut off many times to Peggy McDonald, who is so-called administrative investigations or whatever the fucking name they come up with. I explained to the same thing about where now this bicyclist is in fear, future fear of terrorism, of never knowing when they're going to be arrested for just going down the road. This ain't the first time this happened. In Thanksgiving 2007, I had some fucking cops, a bunch of cops conspire. One of them was Hernandez, piece of shit gangster motherfucker, threatened to have it to where are they going to arrest me because I was riding my bicycle down the road? Well, I took them motherfuckers to court, and I wore a shirt that said "Dirty Cops, Court Cowards," and I tried to force it to a trial, just like recently. I had a sergeant striker of the Panama City Police Department put false charges on me, where June 15, 2015, I was supposed to go to a jury trial, and I was going to cross-examine that motherfucker, and I was going to put that motherfucker in prison because I know the laws to do it. So then, not getting no satisfaction from them, from the Bay County Sheriff's Department, so then I called the Florida Highway Patrol. I never got to talk to anybody of importance, but I think it was a, I don't know, Captain Brown or whatever you want it is, of the Florida Highway Patrol in Panama City, Florida. I left on his answering machine about where I was threatened with arrest on my bicycle. And then I didn't get no satisfaction there. So I called the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in Tallahassee, on Phillips Road in Tallahassee. I talked to a Whitney Williams, who's supposed to be an executive investigations. And then I reminded this witch that if it wasn't for Title IX, she'd be barefoot and pregnant right now. Then I was switched over to Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Brian Harlow, so-called of executive investigations, and this low-life motherfucker was saying, well, that's not our jurisdiction. I said, pardon me. I said, what are you all doing? Do you all watch porn? Is that all you do all day? See, you'll notice. And then they got a chain of command that is so complicated that the average person is not taught in school. They don't know anything about it. So what happens is they get real frustrated. So the truth of the matter is there's corruption all over the United States. But, see, one person can't get something started. The only reason why, and I guarantee you that this is all about a lawsuit of where the lawyers are going to do the suing, millions of dollars. Otherwise, they flat fucking don't give a shit about individuals' rights. And all of what I have been educated on is the United States Justice Department is actually a money laundering extortion organization. And they flat fucking don't give a shit about the bicyclists and the pure hell that they go through because the bicyclists don't have a fucking bunch of money.